Hi everyone, hope you guys are doing great. Let's continue with the next section in the geography series. Now here we'll discuss some of the previous year questions related to the topics that we have covered in a few of the previous videos. For example, topics like origin of universe, solar system, earth, life, etc. Now there are not too many questions asked from this topic. I have explained you this earlier as well. So let's see whatever little questions we have got and then from the next video. So now you can say that we are done with all the introductory topics that was necessary for your understanding, or let's say building of the foundation for the topics that we will be doing now on after this particular video. So from the next video we'll talk about, let's say, geomorphology in detail, and then will come your climatology, then will come your oceanography, then aspects of the Indian geography, etc., then the human geography, economic geography, all of that is to be covered. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do like, comment, share and subscribe. Please do not forget to check all the earlier videos, because without that you will not make sense of what we are doing right now. And also the environment series is going on simultaneously. Please do check those videos as well. Let's see the first question. NDA 2019. The question says that which one of the following hypothesis or the theory explains the origin of universe? So you can pause the video and try the options. For example, you have the options like nebular hypothesis, binary theory, Big Bang theory and planetesimal hypothesis. We have done all of these topics. Pause the video and try for that. Alright, I hope you have tried the answer. So now let's see what they have given. So here they are talking about the origin of universe. So the hypothesis or the theory related to the origin of universe. वैसे तो if you have done this topic properly, you should have directly known the answer, which is your Big Bang theory. Let's just see when we have done this. So we have done this, ठीक है? Big Bang theory, which talks about your universe. Let's see the other options which they have given. So they gave you the concepts like nebular hypothesis or the binary theories. So nebular and binary, are related to Earth, or let's say the planet if we talk about. So anyways, it is not about the universe. Okay, so this has to be the answer. Now what about the planetesimal hypothesis? It is kind of considered to be equivalent to the binary theory only. Even if you would have not known it, let's just understand कि from the word planetesimal, because we have talked about the concept of planetesimals here. If you remember, okay, we have already done this. So it is about that, large number of smaller bodies like planets, and then they finally, with the help of collision, etc., the larger planets were formed. But initially we had this structure. So we know that this is related to the planets. So directly you could have eliminated all of these options even if you would not have known the Big Bang theory, but this is like pretty simple, you should have known. Next question was from pre-2018 UPSC CSE itself, Civil Services Examination, and they have asked you to choose the correct statements amongst the following. The first one says, Earth's magnetic field has reversed every few thousand years. Second is, when the Earth was created more than 4,000 million years ago, there was 54% oxygen and no carbon dioxide. Third, when the living organisms originated, they modified the early atmosphere of the Earth. So 1 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. Alright, I hope you guys are done with that. You should have paused and checked the statements properly. You should have given it adequate time to answer. Let's see. Now these topics also we have covered except the first statement. We have not yet talked about the magnetic field because it was for the timing not given in that book. But when the examination, the questions are asked in the examination, you will not question the examiner that from where have you asked the question, and we have not done it. So rather than making excuses, what we will see is that how we could have got down to the answer despite of not knowing about the first statement with the help of whatever we have done by far. See, let's see first of all the second statement. It says that when the Earth was created, so in the primordial stage, and that of course happened more than 4,000 million years ago, there were 54% oxygen and no carbon dioxide. Now I have already shown you and I repeated this also. This is what we have done, that initially, ठीक है, ये सब भी हमने करा था ना. एक तो हमें पता है कि formation कब हुआ. उसके बाद we have already talked about कि in the primordial atmosphere you had like hydrogen and helium, etc. Then gradually you had the other gases, but very little of the free oxygen. ठीक है, अब and also they are telling no carbon dioxide and 54% oxygen. So that is directly wrong, because we have seen that the early atmosphere had carbon dioxide in good amount and very little of the free oxygen. तो ये वाला पॉइंट तो वैसे गलत हो जाता है. नंबर 2, एक्चुअली दे गिव यू क्वेश्चंस लाइक दैट ओनली. इट्स नॉट दैट दे विल एक्सपेक्ट यू टू नो ऑल द स्टेटमेंट्स. इट्स ऑल्सो अबाउट गेटिंग टू द राइट आंसर विद द हेल्प ऑफ वट एवर यू नो बाय फार. ठीक है, तो सेकेंड हैज़ टू बी रॉन्ग, दैट इज़ प्रिटी क्लियर. सो फ्रॉम दैट यू कैन एलिमिनेट दीज 2, क्योंकि यहाँ पर 2 and 2 है. नाउ लेट्स सी, 1 इज़ 1 ओनली एंड 1 इज़ 1 and 3. तो चलिए हमें इतना तो पता चल गया दैट 1 इज़ एनी वेज करेक्ट, even if we, let's say, did not do it or did not study it. What about the third statement? When the living organisms originated, they modified the early atmosphere of Earth. Now, I have given you that whole table. We have talked about the same thing, that how with the help of organisms, etc., the life has originated. We have talked about cyanobacteria, etc. This was the whole table that we have discussed. So herein we have discussed about those organisms, okay, right from the oceanic body to then on the lands, etc. So directly this question comes out to be the right one, okay, I mean this option. So you know that 1 and 3 are correct. So you could have gotten down to the right answer otherwise also. But apart from that, I have attached 2 slides which you can read on the topic about the magnetic field. ये भी उसी साल देखिए 2018 का वो क्वेश्चन है. तो although this is just taken from the National Geographic, so I cannot say that you would have studied that or somebody appearing that point of time have studied that, which is okay. You could have eliminated and got to the right answer. But they have talked about that many times over our planet's history, the Earth's magnetic poles have reversed, which means that sometimes a compass pointing north will be aimed at Antarctica rather than the Arctic. So reverse is like north वाला south की तरफ point करेगा, south वाला north की तरफ. Although we are not going into the detail of it, rather, if you want, you can read it. I have just attached it for the reference. And I have also attached a section on the planetesimal hypothesis, because the other ones I have done in detail in the previous video. So you can check those for your reference. Let's see the next question. The next question was asked in CDS 2018. So it gives you 2 lists and you have to match them. The first list is on the hypothesis or the theory, very similar to the first question we did. So you can see like NDA, CDS, ये सब में origin और इसको लेकर के hypothesis या theory को they ask you the questions, right? So you cannot take things lightly. And then they have given you the name of the propounder. Here they are not asking you the detail of the theory or let's say the summary of the theory, but here they have given you the name of the propounder, who proposed that or who propounded that. So the first is the planetesimal hypothesis, which is the common. Then you have the thermal contraction, geosynclinal origin theory and hypothesis of the sliding continent. The people or the propounders are Coburn, Chamberlain, Daly and Jeffries. You just have to match it. Now before even if you try to attempt it, most of you might not be knowing this, which is okay, because we have not done this, because we have not done many of the topics also, and the NCRTs have not talked about it. Only this is what I have just shown you, which is equivalent to the binary theory. Now in the options that they have given, so let's just see once the options also, so that I will help you कि हम कुछ हद तक तो ज़रूर पहुँच पाते इस क्वेश्चन तक, और नहीं ऐसा कोई क्वेश्चन जब आए ना, जब बिल्कुल ही नहीं आए, तो यू शुड लीव अटेम्प्टिंग, बिकॉज देयर इज़ नेगेटिव मार्किंग ऑल्सो. बट लेट्स सी दिस 4114, then you have 1441 and you have 3322. ठीक है, this is how they have given. So basically here you have A, B, C and D, and these are like 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now अब ये तो हमने अभी पढ़ लिया, ये तो this we have discussed at least. So planetesimal hypothesis given by Chamberlain, ये तो हमें पता है, आपको बताया भी है, and I have shown you also. Now this is here, so you know that okay A is 2, so इन्हीं दोनों में से कुछ होगा, rest 2 are anyways eliminated, these 2 are anyways eliminated. Now when A is 2, you know D is 3 because it is same for both the options. So what is D? Hypothesis of the sliding continent, which is 3, which is given by Daly's. ठीक है, so this you can see. Now ये दो तो अब आपका हो गया. Now the point is about B and C. Of course for that you would have needed the information, ठीक है, you should have known about the theory or the propounder, but because for the time being we have not done these topics also, they too, you know, the C and the D one relates to the mountains, origin, etc. We have not yet done. We'll talk about the mountains in the geomorphology portion, so you do not need to worry. We have just done this portion, and that is on the basis of that only you could have reached to the half point for that matter in this question. So I would have personally recommended to skip such questions if you are not very sure about the answers. But because अब ये question आ गया है, तो roughly I'll brief you on these other theories also. Very roughly, you can read the details later from internet, or let's say जब हम mountain का topic करते हैं. So the first is already known to you. The second is your thermal contraction theory. Okay, so I also need to tell you the right answer for that matter. So the right answer is A here, B4 and C1. So I'll just match this out for you. So you have A2, B4, C1 and D3. Okay, this is the right answer. You can just check it later. Quickly going ahead with the first one, the thermal contraction theory. It is about, of course, it was given by Harold Jeffrey. It just talked about that, you know, how the, because it is telling thermal contraction, तो गर्मी से contract होना, ठीक है, इसको बस आप कीवर्ड को समझ लीजिए. तो इनका कहना था कि क्या हो रहा था, जैसे जैसे there was loss of heat from the earth, so there was gradual cooling of the earth. इतना तो हमने पढ़ा हुआ है. And because of that gradual cooling, what happened, earth started to shrink ड्यू टू द कॉन्ट्रैक्शन. दिस इज़, यू नो, गर्मी की वजह से, वो मतलब गर्मी के लूज़ होने की वजह से जो ठंडापन होता चला गया धीरे 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 धीरे, उसकी वजह से अर्थ श्रिंक होती चली गई. ये एक थ्योरी है, बस इसका जो समरी है. नेक्स्ट इज जियोसिंक्लिकल ओरिजिन थ्योरी. सी, ओरिजिनी जब आप पढ़ोगे, ओरिजिनी इज रिलेटेड टू माउंटेन्स. दैट इज़ वाई दिस इज रिलेटेड टू द माउंटेन्स. इट वॉज गिवन बाय कोबा. सो हियर दे हैव जस्ट टॉक्ड अबाउट दैट द माउंटेन्स आर फॉर्म्ड फ्रॉम द जियोसिंक्लाइंस. अब जियोसिंक्लाइंस क्या होते हैं, एंटीक्लाइंस क्या होते हैं, ऑल ऑफ दैट विल डू इन द टॉपिक ऑन माउंटेन. सो दिस इज रिलेटेड टू माउंटेन, दिस इज ऑल्सो रिलेटेड टू माउंटेन. हाइपोथेसिस ऑफ द स्लाइडिंग कॉन्टिनेंट. So here also they have talked about that the main force of origin of mountain is because of the force of gravity, and then they have talked about the depressed regions जिसको geosyncline बोलते हैं, etc. So don't worry, we have to do the mountain topic, but if you want in your own capacity you can read more on that. Let's see UPSC CSE question. See, these other examinations थोड़ा सा वो complex पूछ दे रहे हैं, but if you see the detail, UPSC CSE में you are easily able to answer the questions based on whatever is given in your textbook. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे जैसे इन दोनों पॉइंट के हेल्प से आप पूरे आंसर पे डायरेक्टली पहुँच सकते थे, even if you would have not known about the first one. Similarly, let's see this. Which one of the following, this was 2012, sets of elements were primarily responsible for the origin of life on the earth? Hydrogen, oxygen, sodium, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, calcium, phosphorus, carbon, hydrogen, potassium. So I hope you have paused the video and tried for it. Now here also you just see that we have done enough on, like, you know, what are gases, etc. were present in this particular section. Here I have talked about the origin of life, etc. So if you just see this in detail, here roughly you are getting, for example, water vapor, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia, even little, let's say, oxygen also, because in the later phase of course we had the oxygen. So अब आप इसमें देखिए कि इसमें हमने सोडियम की कोई बात नहीं करी है. We have not talked about the origin of life on the earth and the evolution relating to the sodium in the, of course, initial few phases. सोडियम आप एलिमिनेट कर सकते थे. देन वी हैव नॉट टॉक्ड अबाउट एज सच कैल्शियम और फॉस्फोरस. वी हैव ऑल्सो नॉट टॉक्ड अबाउट पोटेशियम. सो ये सब तो उसी से एलिमिनेट हो जाते, एंड देन यू वुड हैव लेफ्ट विथ कार्बन, हाइड्रोजन एंड नाइट्रोजन, और ये तो हमने पढ़ा ही है. ठीक है, वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड में कार्बन आपका हो गया, नाइट्रोजन हो गया, हाइड्रोजन तो हो ही गया, हाइड्रोजन तो हमने इनिशियल पढ़ा ही था. ठीक है, so this was very easy to be done based on whatever you have done by far. You cannot expect the exact lines from the book coming in your answers and, you know, questions and you will answer, but based on your understanding of the theoretical part, you can apply that knowledge to solve such questions. So here we are done with the previous year questions related to this topic. I'll meet you in the next video discussing about the further topics on geomorphology. From there we will have the questions related to both prelims and mains also, because अभी तक जो भी हम कर रहे थे, it was primarily related to prelims, therefore I have not attached the mains questions, but from now onwards we will have the mains related questions also. चलिए, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe if you feel the content is helpful. Do not forget to check the links in the description section, and the environment videos are also available. Bye bye, take care.